What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show, man. Recap with Mo, where we're getting ready to get into another episode breakdown of BounceTv's own Johnson series, all right? But before we get into this thing, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit that's going down right here, all right? So the episode we're getting ready to get into tonight is episode number 4 of season 3, titled Family Feud, all right? So the synopsis for this episode states that Greg makes himself a little too comfortable during date night at Jarvis's house. Jarvis confronts his parents about his past. Omar's late night meeting with Bianca comes to an unexpected end. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So we start this episode off with Omar at his house. He's knocked out and he receives a phone call that awakes him from Bianca. Now, Bianca has been MIA for a minute. She claims that he has a baby with her, but he has yet to be able to get the DNA test. So that's been his concern with her at this point. So he was like, look, I don't want to keep going with the back and forth. Essentially, I just need to get this done. And she was like, yeah, I'm ready to do it at this point. So anyhow, he was like, look, okay, we can meet later on tonight. She was like, can you make sure to bring me the same amount that you did last time? So we're not even going to get into that. I'm not even sure if she's going to show up or not. We'll talk about it when it shows up. Anyhow, going on from there, next we see the fellas. They out there on the court. They going at it on the court. And once they finish the game, Omar is like, it's nothing like a great game of basketball to take your mind off of what you're going through. So the guys were like, so is Naomi taking you through the ringer once again? And he was like, yeah, that's what it is. When it's not what it is. Right now he's stressing about Bianca's ass, but he can't say that right now. Anyhow, Jarvis is like, he's needing to go to his parents' house, but he feels some type of way about calling them his parents. And he feels like he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't have a self-identity at this point. And honestly, he doesn't feel like he's a Johnson. And they like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, you've gone too far at this moment because you will forever be a Johnson, all right? So he feels some type of way. And I don't know how to tell him how to feel because I've never gone through that. But I honestly can see how it would make anyone feel about, their identity. Like, for all of my life, I've known myself to be this person, to be part of this family, and now I'm finding out as a grown-ass man that all of the things that I've learned to be so are false. So I can see how that can be triggering. And then Greg, while they're getting ready to leave, Greg asked Jarvis, like, what time you gonna be coming back to the crib? Jarvis is like, why? Like, what's going on? He was like, well, I may have a date later on tonight. I may have some company. So anyhow, he was like, look, okay, well, can you tell me who it is? Of course, he doesn't want to convey to, Jarvis who it is. So Jarvis feels some type of way because he's like, damn, I can't even come into my own house where I pay the bills. You ain't paying no rent. You're not doing anything. And you can't even tell me who's coming to my house. Anyhow, going on from there, the next thing we see is Omar sitting in a Briscoe, something like that. I think some coffee house. And while he's in there, he's waiting on his attorney, Robin, to come in. He conveys to her that, she called him last night or called him early this morning. She was like, okay, did you call the authorities? He was like, no, I didn't do that. So Robin is like, so why in the hell did you not do that? Because obviously she got something to hide and it ain't no damn baby. And I'm with her like, well, I'm not with her, but I can see his point of view as well, because if this is his child, then every man, well, I'm not going to say every damn man either. Most men who got a heart want to know who their child is. You know what I'm saying? You want to know the children that you have out here in the world. Now, I'm going to just be honest, because that's how I get down on my platform over here. There are some men out here can give a damn about who they got out there. They don't care. It is what it is, and I'm not going to stop my life for nothing. But anyhow, moving on. We head over to Jarvis's house where we see him, well, not his house, but he actually goes to his parents' house to ask them about, his birth information, the information that they stated was burned down in the house. So they were not able to hold on to those documents because they were destroyed. All right. So his father, or we should just call him Wardell, and his mom, or Miss Anita, they have been hiding a secret for some time. So he was like, look, it's very hard for me to really share this information or even to ask you guys this. So his mom, or Miss Anita, was standing in front of him. She's like, look, you never come over here to talk to me. So obviously with you standing here, obviously it's very important. Just go ahead and get it off your chest. So he pulls this document out of this file folder, and he's like, look, can you tell me about this? Is his actual birth certificate that he was able to get a copy of. So when he hands her the document, she looks at it and she begins to shake because she knows that the bottom is about to fall out. And she begins to call Wardell, who happens to be his quote-unquote father. So Wardell comes in. He was like, what's good, son? And he was like, no, don't call me son. I need you to tell me what the hell is going on, all right? So Anita hands him the document. He looks at it. He got this smile on his face, and immediately that smile fades. And he was like, look, son, we helped you. Like, we adopted you. And well, let me go back a little bit, because he initially states that hospitals make mistakes like this all the time. No, that wasn't the truth, my brother. The truth was that your wife, Miss Anita, stole this child from the hospital. That's the truth. And unfortunately, you've been caught in the lie. It's time to come straight forward. But instead of doing that, you're telling him that you adopted him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, the great thing about it is that he did grow up in a household where he was loved and taken care of. Definitely after I just got finished talking about what I just got finished talking about with, what's the show, Zatima over there, where Zach was going through all of that drama. So I'm definitely here for all children being taken care of. But you cannot be taken care of if you were stolen or abducted, by these individuals, and then all of a sudden you're talking about I'm a great parent. That's not great parenting, all right? So anyway, Jarvis is like, look, I thank you guys for giving me the life that you've given me. And as a matter of fact, I got somebody here that wants to also thank you as well. So he goes to the door and he lets in his true father. Now, when his true father gets in, Miss Anita notices him on point, and he was like, yeah, I know that you remember me, you remember my face. And then they do like a quick flashback to when the baby was handed off to her. Now, the thing is, instead of having, a mature conversation, his now father wants to come in and he wants to fight Wardell. That's not what we're here for, and Jarvis obviously did not expect it to go down like that, because he tears the men apart, and he was like, look, that's not how I thought this would go. But then he exits with his new father, and he turns around before he exits, and he looks at, his mom and his dad one last time, I'm assuming. But it was so crazy, like, to even think that all your life, these are the people that you've known to be your parents, and all of a sudden you find that not to be so. Like, damn, like, I can feel the pain of Jarvis in some type of way, man. But anyhow, going on from there, we head over to Keith's house, where we see he and his girl, they getting their workout on. It look like they just finished their workout. And, they're having fun together. They're getting to know each other. They're loving one another and just loving the time together. And I love to see black love, y'all. So I ain't complaining about shiznit that's going down right here. So she notices, as after they decline a little bit, she notices that the box that he took from her parents' house has yet to be open. And she makes a comment about it, and he was like, well, it's been sitting in the garage for years, so what does it mean to have it a couple of more days just like that? And she was like, look, it means everything. Like, I'm thinking about you and my father. Like, if y'all can work this thing out, this will go a long way. Like, you just doing something for him could possibly go a long way with building your relationship with one another. And he was like, well, does everything have a price? And she was like, yeah, everybody got a price. And he was like, everybody but you. And she was like, well, what do you mean by that? And he was like, well, I noticed, you could be decked out with all the latest brands and going to the nicest and the finest restaurants and, all of that stuff like that, but you don't. You work a regular 9 to 5. You hang out with common people, and you just love being around people that make you laugh and feel good. And he was like, you can't be bought because that's not your lifestyle. And she conveys to him that, that's the easy stuff. Getting a Birkin bag and all of that stuff, that's the easy stuff. Buying the Birkin bags and getting all the Gucci and all of that stuff, that's the easy stuff for real. Like, because it takes nothing at all to go buy that stuff or go purchase that stuff. But I love women like this who just go with the flow. Like, it doesn't matter. And when you are surprised, you are surprised. Like, my wife is like that to a certain extent. Like, now don't get me wrong. She likes her stuff now. She likes her bags and she likes her shoes. But at the same time, y'all, it's sort of like, don't let that be the all the time situation. Even though I can go get that for you, like, she may not like it. She just may want some flowers every week, which she does. So I go and get her flowers, brand new flowers every week, and put them in her office. That's something that she likes, that she enjoys. Now, when she want to go to the mall or she want to go pick up something, then we can go do that. But it's not an all the time situation. So anyhow, I'm enjoying the way that they are loving one another. And I think it's going to work out pretty well if he can get past that politician father. So let's see where that goes. Anyhow, so talking about dates and women, we head over to see Greg in the pool with his date Wanda, all right? So they chilling in the pool and they drinking their little wine or whatnot. And, they having a good time. And she's like, look, I got a question to ask you, all right? But before I ask you, I just need your honest response. And he was like, look, if you asking me to come back and work for you, I'm not coming back. She was like, please, like, look, we already got somebody as a janitor and he's 10 times better than you ever were. And he was like, for real? She was like, yeah, so we're not talking about that. But she was like, on the serious note, about 10 years ago, I froze my eggs because, I was hoping at one time I would meet Mr. Right, and, unfortunately, Mr. Right never came. And I said, oh, hell, I see where this conversation is going. And he was like, okay, so what are you trying to ask me? Now, bro, if you didn't see where she was going with this, if someone is telling you that they froze their eggs, then you should already know where this is going. But anyhow, I guess he wanted to hear it roll off of her tongue, right? So when she says, okay, well, 10 years ago I did this, and what I was hoping was that you would consider fathering my child, like being a sperm donor, right? And Greg is like, well, I don't even know if I should be flattered or be offended. And she was like, look, you were very close, but we are on two different levels, all right? So obviously, she's a boss. She's a heavy hitter. And as we all know about Greg, he's a free spirit. He really doesn't want to be tied down to anything. As we can tell, he's not even tied down to his own damn crib. So, she wasn't looking for Greg, all right? So he was like, well, look, you know what I'm saying? I know this was hard for you to say that because she feels embarrassed at this point because of his response at that moment. And he was like, look, don't feel bad about it. Like, just give me time to think about it. But she does offer to pay him to father her child as well. So right now he ain't doing nothing. I mean, he might as well. And I mean, why not do it the natural way? I mean, y'all already here. But anyhow, listen, I really don't know how to respond. Like, if somebody was to ask me that right now, like, I really, damn it, I would not know how to respond to that. I guess I would be like Greg. Like, okay, no. As a matter of fact, I would probably say no. Because, we'll talk about that later. But anyhow, yeah, I think I would honestly say no, because I would like to be part of that child's life as well. Definitely if you are my seed, man. So I don't know, that's a hard one. But anyhow, we move on from there and we see Keith chilling at the crib, grubbing at this moment. And while he's watching television, he's eating. He looks over at the box, and that box has yet to be opened. So I guess he heard his girl in his mind or whatnot because he went to work. All right, so we see him in his dark room working with the negatives. So from there, we see Bianca and Omar. So she has finally decided to meet with Omar. Omar was hesitant about it, but he wanted to resolve this issue. Now, truth be told, I knew something was wrong when she got out of the car with this baggy ass outfit on. Like all the time that I've seen Bianca, she's been dressed down. You see what I'm saying? Like all the way down to the tips of her toes, right? So I'm like, something ain't right about this. Obviously, she's hiding something, and Omar notices that situation as well, because he asked her the same question I'm stating right now, like, what's going on? Who are you hiding from? She's like, no, I'm not hiding from anybody. So he was like, okay, look, I need you to answer these questions. Like, you need to give me what I need to know. She ain't trying to answer it. He was like, well, maybe you would decide to do it now. And he gives her this card with immigration information on it. So at this point, she's trying to leave the car, and he was like, look, just wait a little bit. Just hold on, all right? And he was like, look, this is what I'm going to do. After she gives him this little sob story about the attorney, what she's done for her family. It's not about me. It's always been about my family, and I've used my looks essentially to get what I need so I can send it back home to my family. They rely on me to do that. So Omar feels some type of way about it, and he's like, look, just hold on. And he gives her a grip. I believe that's a stack of 10 grand. I think that's what that stack is. It's been a while since I've been in banking. I was in banking in college. So I think that's 10 grand that he gave her, and she was so appreciative about it. So I was like, okay, cool. I was just hoping that the situation did not go down where he ended up getting robbed or something like that. So I'm glad it didn't go down like that. But at the same damn time, when she got out of the car, she was getting ready to get into her vehicle. Omar is looking over to the side like there's somebody else in her car. But no, it's the damn police or whomever they are. They come in, they swoop in, and now they are picking her up. She's looking at him like he traded, like he was the one that told on her. And I'm like, hell to the no, like, and then they coming up to the car and saying, please don't get Omar. But they don't. They just look at him and they go about their merry way. Like, they pick her up, put her in the back of the car, and they roll out. Now, what about my 10 grand though? Like, what happened to my money? Like, what we doing here? So because that's what I would have been concerned about. Okay, you're not going to use it, like, give it back to me. But anyhow, going on from there, next thing we see is Keith. Now, Keith is back at the crib. As we all know, he was working on these damn photos, and now he's in the process of looking at these photo negatives. So he's going through this thing, and he notices this photo with 4 gentlemen on it. 3 white guys, 1 black guy with a large G on their shirt. So I was like, damn, that man looks familiar. So we go back a little bit, and Keith goes back to the time where his landlord was notifying everybody that their rent was getting ready to increase. And he was like, damn, what's going on? Well, he was like, well, the property values are going up because they're buying up every damn thing. He was like, look at that sign up there. So when you look at that sign has that same damn G on it. And I said I knew something was going to come out about this father, about this politician, because there's no way in hell that he does not have his hands dirty in it. I was like, damn. I knew it. I knew something was going to come from it, and he's part of Griffin Incorporated, that development group that's buying up all the damn properties in the neighborhood. I be John Brown, man. Anyway, man, that's the end of the episode, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you have yet to do so. Make sure to hit that like button down below to help me out on the algorithm as well. But with that being said, man, I'll talk to y'all soon, man. The next video will be up tomorrow. And we will be all caught up on the Johnson series on Bounce TV. All right, so I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.